And what did you like the most so far? Anything.
Hare Krishna.
Shama Sundar. Because Shama, that deity, whatever you thought God might look like, that deity will make you think again. And you realize, no one could think of this. He must only himself appear that way, because who could think of this? Beyond the imagination of a Murtiwala or in Shama Sundar. He's very special.
And then nice everyday decoration.
Right, his face. You look at him and just think, oh, God.
Now we've been waiting for Your Holiness for the parikrama to begin. We've just done some minimal parikrama, recovering from Govardhan.
Yeah.
Everyone's legs a little tired, and the devotees being here happily at our temple, and we did visit to the Radha-Damodara temple.
Yeah.
We haven't given any like substantial visits to temples. That's with your association.
Well, means under the umbrella of the lotus feet of our Guru Varga, because it's very peculiar that Gadadhar Pandit asks, who we take as Radharani herself. So think, Radharani in Gaur Leela is Gadadhar Pandit. It's inconceivable, but true. The remainder, as Guru Maharaj would say, sometimes facsimile, he uses different terms. So he says other more intense things. But because Krishna stolen the heart of Radharani, and the outcome of that, radiance halo. But that Gadadhar Pandit asked Mahaprabhu for permission to go to Vrindavan. Because actually, you can't just go to Vrindavan on your own. It's not the same experience. There has to be some divine backing and sanction. Otherwise, it'll just be visual, it's superficial, or worse, offense. So, but here, what's very peculiar is Mahaprabhu said, no, you cannot go to Gadadhar Pandit, who is Radharani. How can anyone say Radharani cannot go to Vrindavan? Vrindavan has no meaning without Radharani, actually. It's, she said, Gopal is very, Anyara Hridayaman, Moraman, Vrindavan. Saying normally, heart and mind, same for people.
Yeah.
And there are people say, in India they go, in my mind, and they go like that and touch it. In my mind, I'm thinking. They don't go, they go, in my mind. So, it's in Anyara, Hridayaman, Moraman. For most people, heart, mind, that's same. Not, my case is a little different. For me, my heart and Vrindavan are identical. They're the same. So, that person we can say Vrindavan is a construct of her heart, right? Because it's all arranged for the pastimes of Krishna. That's why they go, why, if Madhura Rasa is the primary one, what do you need the other ones for? You can't think like that. It only becomes, you have to have that. There needs to be mother, father, brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, cows, everything. It's all part of it, working together. But this one type is the sweetest. Therefore, that's why it's named. Is why you call it Madhura. That means sweet. Saying each one is like Sakya Rasa, friendship, Vatsalya Rasa, parental relationship, Shanta, But this one's called Madhura, the sweet one, the sweetest one, for a reason. So anyway, it's all necessary for divine pastimes. But some Mahaprabhu telling Gadadhar Pandit, you can't go to Vrindavan. sometimes devotees are told, you go to the temple commander, the temple president, and like, I'd like to go, and you can't go. You know? And then they can say, oh, I heard Goswami say that Gadadhar Pandit couldn't go, so you're in good company. That you can't go. As Srila Bhakti Dvaita Madhav Maharaj said to me in Puri when I was like sitting there covered in gunk from the gutter where the guards threw me. I'm going, why can't we go see Jagat the deity? And he said, Haridas Thakur did not enter the temple. My head went. He said, Rupa Goswami did not enter. My head went. Sanatana Goswami, he didn't, and there was no more to go. My head was now on the ground. He's saying, but from Siddha Gokul, you can go there, and So, the approval, sanction, permission. But if we say, still, that peculiar thing, why can't Gadadhar Pandit? Why didn't Mahaprabhu say, yeah, you can go, stay for some time and come back? Well, no, because he's taken the heart of Radharani, and the remainder is there as Gadadhar Pandit. Guru Maharaj is implying it'll be too painful for her to see Vrindavan. So he's saving her from that. No, you stay here in Puri and do different. You won't be able to tolerate it. You'll lose all of your composure. So he's forbidding. But we know that Jagadananda Pandit, he asked to go, and Mahaprabhu said, you can go, but when you're in Vrindavan, you have to not mix with the local people and always stay under the guidance of Sanatana Goswami Prabhu. So that's and this is Jagadananda Pandit, who just, to make an even more peculiar point, said to be the Queen Satyabhama from Dwarka, who's Radharani's expansion. That's siddhantically interesting. But, so that Jagadananda Pandit is told you can go, but two things, don't mix with the local people. You won't be able to understand their ways, or you'll see things that are bewildering or that do not apply to you and may cause you to think less. Many things are possible. So he's saying, don't mix with them intimately, and always be under the guidance of Sanatana Goswami. So in the line of Mahaprabhu and the Rupa Nuga line, this is the only way devotees really come here is under the guidance of superior or experienced devotees, always, not wandering here and there, as I did when I first came, because there was nobody. We didn't have any temples. And this one devotee from Holland, the architect Survi, his brother, Jagadev, we would go to these different temples sort of capriciously. There wasn't a rhyme or reason why we were going where we went. And that means we got exposed to some things that would be better not to, or that were perplexing, bewildering to neophytes, and potentially damaging. Right? Because we're just on our own, just whimsically deciding to go to this place or that place on the basis of eye experience, what did Saraswati Thakur call eye exercise? Just moving your eyes up and down, this, what are you really seeing? So the point I'm trying to make is, only under the guidance of the superior and experienced Vaishnavas, with the sanction to do this, can we make our approach. And there's some rhyme and reason to the sequence also. So we're here, sometimes I said to Gurudev that I refer to it as when you got a call from Rupa Goswami. Because we can say, he got a call with regard to, And I said, you got the call from Rupa Goswami. Whoever the agents were is another thing, but we're next to the Radha Damodar temple, where Jiva Goswami took care of Rupa Goswami and other Goswamis. His Samadhi and Bhajan Kutir of Rupa Goswami are there, as you know already. And Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami. But you see outside where Krishna's Kaviraj and Jiva Goswami are, see, everything is significant. If you notice, their samadhis are far away from Rupa Goswami's samadhi. Why? Why didn't it have like Rupa, Jiva, Krishna's? It's not like that. Rupa Goswami over here, and then far away is Jiva and Krishna. Why? They're showing respect, some special respect to Rupa Goswami. So someone else, a person, well, we can say Saki Charan, who had some appreciation. His son paid for his samadhi to be near Rupa Goswami. Guru Maharaj didn't like that. He said it was, what was, you know his exact words? Impertinent, but he used some, he really disapproved this and considered it offensive. And then in front of him, you see all those little tiny samadhis in front of the Jiva Goswami and Krishna's Kaviraj, because people pay them something to get a Pushpa Samadhi of their guru there. So we see some Gaudiya Math luminaries, but then many Sahajiyas. It's a hodgepodge, actually. So Gurudev, he said, I couldn't tolerate the thought of Guru Maharaj being there. That gives him pain in the heart of Govinda Maharaj. In the midst of so many Sahajiyas and everything else, then you're going to put some Pushpa, means flower samadhi, of Guru Maharaj there. He said, I could not tolerate that thought. And then we know mysteriously, his phone's not working for 2 months, and he picks it up, every now and then he picks it up to see, any dial tone, nothing. One day he picks it up, and it's the local man, Krishna Ballabha Prabhu, saying this property is available. So you see, that means in the background something divine from Rupa Goswami, Mahaprabhu, Radharani herself, that Guru Maharaj will not suffer the embarrassment of being in that group, but right next to Rupa Goswami, as close as you could possibly be, then is this beautiful temple. So we're fortunate to begin here, and it's appropriate because Srila Prabhupada was there, that I would like to, in his room, say something in praise of Srila Prabhupada. Without him, nobody in this room would have any connection with Krishna consciousness. Let's go, I'll just step out of the room. But anyone not born in Gaura-Mandal, etc. And even them, even you can see, those born, if they don't get a connection with Gaudiya Math line of Saraswati Thakur, that's another question altogether too. Anyway, so to begin there, then Sanatana Goswami proves the Sambandha Gyanacharya and Madan Mohan, and over there that's the Kaliya Rad, I believe, and Prabodhananda around the corner, and Narottam Thakur's appearance day is coming, and that means Radha Gokulananda and Mahaprabhu's Girish and other things. Others know this better than me. I don't know these things. Madhusudan Maharaj knows, Keshwananda Prabhu knows, Marananda Prabhu knows. But in other words, I'm saying there's some ontological, siddhantic order and sequence to our movements, not to just randomly, like a pinball, go from this place to that place. We're not here for that. Trying to understand something substantial and offer some praise as is possible. But and Gopal Bhatta, we're trying to see there all the Goswamis. So here Rupa and Jiva. Krishna's Kaviraj there too. Then Sanatana Goswami Prabhu, then Raghunath Bhatta built the Govindaji temple. Gopal Bhatta has the Radharaman. And Radhakund is Raghunath Das Goswami, on where Narottam Thakur's place is Gokulananda, there's a samadhi for Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur. So gradually, not always just say ontologically exactly how we might want to proceed, but close to it. And then with some practical considerations of what's near to where we are, and that Maharaj knows, Keshananda Guru, Paramananda Guru. But Guru Maharaj said you need special eyes to see the Dham. Because there's what we see literally, objectively, but what we're talking about is subjective culture that's seen through devotional eyes. So I'll just conclude with this, that and so many devotees were at the Mat in Navadvip. One devotee, he said to Guru Maharaj, now that I'm here at the Mat, what should be my seva? Because they're saying like, oh, maybe it'd be cutting vegetables, cleaning, there's so many different things that need to be done. Now that I'm here, what should be my seva? And Guru Maharaj said, to acquire the proper angle of vision. That surprised everyone. Right? Doesn't mean not to cut the vegetables, clean the floor, no. Same, but while doing these things, you're here to acquire the proper angle of vision, the proper way of seeing things. And that comes back to the original point, the Vaishnava, Guru and Vaishnava. Only through them can we have any hope of seeing things properly. And we have some, it's not like an option. If we say, or like to portray ourselves as being faithful to our Guru Varga, it's an obligation to do this. Whatever's necessary to come under the angle of vision, way of seeing of Srila Bhakti Sudhir Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Saraswati Thakur, Chaitanya Saraswati Mat. From Mahaprabhu, the Rupa Nuga line, to Saraswati Thakur and his followers. So it's seeing the way Guru Maharaj sees things. Not that, oh, the pujari with the big tilak and the big, and he's told some, story about Uddhava. How do you know that that is true? That Uddhava, here's where he became a blade of grass. Really? Really? Should we believe that? Uddhava? Who Krishna says, no one is more dear to me than Uddhava. Yes, he expressed, like, oh, it's so great if I could, but you're going to tell me that Uddhava, that he literally did this, and I'm supposed to believe that? Show me. Show me where it says this. Show me an authentic scripture where it says that this happened. Or I'll never believe it. The great Uddhava, who who was in Vrindavan, and the gopis saw him, they go, oh, he looks just like Krishna, he's wearing Krishna's clothes. That Uddhava? Don't tell me this. No, we don't believe anything and everything we hear because someone here told some story. Sadhu, Shastra, Guru, Vaishnava. Then you show me, where does it say that? Is that in the Bhagavatam? Is it in the Brihad Bhagavatam? Where is this described? Oh no, he was telling a very nice Indian man. The girl said, Maharaj, can you tell me about Rasa Leela? I said, no. She goes, no, but a very nice Indian man on the bus explained it all to me. Saying, I'm sure he did. So they say so many things. Some of these things are offensive. They're opposidantic. They're against our gurus and what they've told us. So we're not eager to hear anything and everything, for the sake of hearing anything and everything. We have our Guru Varga. They have a particular way. They're giving us exposure to all of these things. These stories, they're not unknown to Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. We focus on what they tell us not anything and everything. What did Mahaprabhu say? Don't mix. You'll be confused, you'll commit offense, and what applies to another person, it doesn't apply to you. He told Jagadananda Pandit, not just someone who's newly recruited to Krishna consciousness, oh, you should be careful when you go there, you should stand. No, Jagadananda Pandit, who wrote the Prema Vivarta, one of the most intimate associates of Mahaprabhu saying, be careful when you're there. Should we be less careful than Jagadananda Pandit or more careful? I would argue that we should be more careful than Jagadananda Pandit because we're not so qualified. So then we stay under the guidance of our Guru Varga, their way of seeing. And I'll tell you that when that man, and I broke everything, I'm the person who did all the things wrong. We're going to this temple, that, and oh, that deity we like is very beautiful, and they have their little arati at night, and we're at this place, I'm not going to mention the name, but say off the beaten paths a little bit. And and we'd gone there a few nights in a row, and then one of the elders, oh, these guys are potential clients, So he says, it's in the evening, and they have this little arati, like a 5-minute arati around 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. You should come to Mangal Arati tomorrow. Yeah. We were going to like Radharaman Mangal Arati. Remember, there was no Krishna Bhakti, nothing at this time. Anyway, I said, and just to say something, because the last arati of the evening is like 5 minutes. It's a real brief one. I said, because we had to come a long way, I said, I hope it's longer than this one. But I was just making small talk. It wasn't like something I'd thought out. Maybe I wouldn't say that, but I just said, to say something, you should come. And I said, oh, I hope it's longer than this one. And he went, huh. We don't trouble our gods with arati. How old was I? 21 years old. We don't trouble our gods with arati. I was saying, like, trouble? You must understand the unique position of the Brij Vasus. We don't worship Krishna. We just have pure love. And then I say, I remember Prabhupada saying something. I said, but, sir, I thought Mahaprabhu, he says, na prema gandhasti dharapi meharo. I don't have a drop of love for Krishna. Mahaprabhu, that is the beginning stage. Mahaprabhu, Radha Govinda, that is the beginning stage. These people are here in the temple, smiling, come, giving. So I could understand. Now I'm meeting face to face all the people that Prabhupada warned us about. He told us about these people. Now it's not in a book, it's not in a lecture, I'm in the flesh. Here's someone. And what did Guru He's the guide. But what did Guru Maharaj say about people what that man just said, these things? Guru Maharaj said, if someone says that, or Chaitanya, he's my disciple, he said, and Guru Maharaj was like, he almost fell off his bed. He goes, he should be shot down as the greatest enemy ever known in this world. And everyone went, okay, Maharaj, okay. We thought like he was gonna lose it. He was like shaking. And then he started laughing. He realized how strong he was on this point about this type people who say these things. And this group, later, I hear, so 20 years, 30 years later, I hear Guru Maharaj talking about them. And we can say something like, it's like Radha Balavi. And so the discussion comes up about them. And someone suggests they are Sahajya. And there's two, the worst thing, like if in Gaudiya Math they said, you're just a materialist. Something like, oh, that's okay. But if they called you a Mayavadi or a Sahajya, that's like fighting words. But you're a materialist, you're arrogant, you're this, like that. That is Prabhu, that what you're saying is true. But if you're saying Mayavadi, Sahajya, that cannot be taught. Those are the worst things. So someone says to Guru Maharaj about them, and he knows all about it. They think, oh, Guru Maharaj doesn't know, or no, they know everything. And he said, yes, their guru, he was a renegade disciple of Gopal Bhakti Goswami. And he thought the Ekadashi came, and he's like chewing betel nut or something. He said, oh, Prabhu, you shouldn't be doing that, it's Ekadashi. And his idea was like, he was beyond following these things. As many people here think. They're beyond the Kadashi, they're beyond so many things. So, but it was Gopal Bhatta. This Prabodhananda was in a grandfather position at the time and affectionately dealing with everyone. But Gopal Bhatta said to him like, you shouldn't be doing that. And he rebelled against Gopal Bhatta. But other people, they saw, but Prabodhananda deals very affectionately, the typical kind of thing. So, but what happened was there was a split among the followers, and one group, they beheaded this man. And here, because we used to wonder, he has two samadhis. In one place is his body, and another one is his head. It gets worse, right? So, anyway, but the devotees who know nothing, they're wandering around thinking, oh, the deities are so pretty, and the arati is so sweet, and the songs are so nice. And I was one of them. And I'm just, mocking myself and my foolishness of being a young devotee capriciously wandering unchaperoned around Vrindavan. But this is the point, I know I've already said too much. But, so someone said to Guru Maharaj about them, said, so they're Sahajya, and this I couldn't believe. Guru Maharaj said, they are worse than Sahajya. Before that, we couldn't imagine that there's anything worse than that. And then he explained, it's not just like, a gut feeling, these guys are worse than Sahajya. It's not like that. Guru Maharaj, if he says something, it's very careful. Guru Maharaj, I say many things without thinking twice about it. But if Guru Maharaj says something like that, he can support it. So he said, why are they worse? He said, Sahajyas, there's Vidhi Marg, Raga Marg, and without getting into a whole thing. But, so, he's saying, generally, Sahajyas say, Vidhi Marg has some value, but not much. But you're a beginner, you do a little Vidhi Marg, and then you transition to Raga Marg and start doing the real thing. He said, their position of this group, and their guru, and their sampradaya, they've got everything, is, they say, Vidhi Marg, which is what we're all practicing, has no value whatsoever. So Guru Maharaj said, they are worse than Sahajya. But my point is, without being chaperoned, means under the affectionate, what is that book called? Affectionate guidance. The loving, affectionate guardian who are represented here as our senior devotees, and Madhusudan Maharaj, Paramananda Prabhu, Keshavananda, that we're likely to be in situations that we shouldn't be in, or not know how to respond, or suffer, spiritually, emotional damage, things like that. So I thank, I get on my hands and knees, and I'm so happy to be under the guidance of yours. And I'll try, they say you should end the meal with a sweet, right? Because I just made everybody taste something bitter. In the wrong sequence. But the sweet thing I'll say is this. So the Radha Raman Goswamis, they showed some proper respect for Saraswati Thakur and his followers. And I knew their grandfather, who's there now, their grandfather, Vishwambar, was like, and he slept in my bed, and some of them very nice gentlemen. Anyway, so when I met him once, because I knew him and I was visiting, and we were having a talk. He's, if you go, they'll all bow if they hear his name, because that's their grandfather. Right? And he knows back to he was a boy when Saraswati Thakur came, and when his grandfather was. But anyway, so I was saying to him, and this is the point I will conclude, saying, I said, we're talking about, Vrindavan, and I just come from Navadvip, and I remember it was in me, and spilling out of me. I said, as wonderful as Vrindavan is, but Prabodhananda, yatha yatha gora padara vinde tabhakim krita punyarasi, tatha tatot sarpati, hridyakasma radha padambo sudambo rasa. Gaur Leela is the entrance to Krishna Leela. Navadvip is the entrance to Vrindavan and the Rupanuga Gaudiya line. I said, so much so, and this is what I'd heard from Guru Maharaj, it came spilling out of me. I said, Navadvip is Vrindavan in distribution mode, the Madhurja sweetness and Odarja distribution mode. I said, what is astonishing? Every atom of Navadvip is capable of giving Vrindavan in full. And when I said, this is very real, and he turned and he smiled, he could say, how can you see? And he said, you are a disciple of Sridhar Maharaj. He didn't know, but by quality, he's like, you're a disciple of Sridhar Maharaj. Like, he could recognize the substance that's coming out, where it comes from. So we're here to follow that flow, that current. We're under our guardian's vigilant eye. And we're happy that so many faithful devotees are here to guide us affectionately. So I hope I didn't say anything unpalatable, but I just thought a few cautionary notes should be mentioned.
No one will go through that gate alone.
Everyone's been saved, Maharaj, and the guys of the Bhakti Sudhir.
Yeah.
Everything went very smooth.
No, I know he's here, but I just want to remind everyone, because at every moment there's someone going, come on,
Yeah.
come. Taking in the shop, they have the picture of the guru, depending on how you turn it around, there's a picture of another guru on the other side. So we didn't come here for shopping. No.
What does the Maharaj advise us? Finish all your shopping.
Yeah, right, you can get right. There's a time for that. But I'm saying, that's not why we've come. That's all I'm saying. No, we all have to do something, and there's some things that are only available here. That's fine. But that's not why we came. It's not, we've come for another reason. That's all. Srila Gurudev, just to take it in the other direction, he's just here. He went next door to Radha Damodar because that's appropriate. That's it. He's not going anywhere. And he went somewhere previously when he was younger. The place that impressed him the most is in Uchagaon, Lalita Bar, the house of Lalita Sakhi. It resonated in his heart in a very deep way. That Guru Maharaj said, your place, the way Saraswati Thakur said Kadam Kandi was Guru Maharaj's place. And Gurudev told me this interesting thing, because we were in Govardhan, and I had never been there. And so this party was arranged to go. Lalita Mohini, I remember she was there, myself, and some others. I can't remember who else. And we did in fact go to Kadam Kandi. So many peacocks in flight also. The way they fly, from a tree, they swoop, and extraordinary sights. And when we came back to see Gurudev, he said, that Ucha Gaon, where Lalita Sakhi's house is, that
It would be like first year.
yeah.
That's like,
All right, so that was the most special place for him, and he said, I will never go again. And some were thinking like, well, why? And he said, because what I experienced in that visit, I'm afraid that if I go again, it will not be there, vanish, go away. So I only want to remember it as I experienced it at that time. So there's something to be said for that also. That sometimes, and it is so wonderful, we just want to always remember it that way. So we're here understanding these extremes. In one sense, we could just stay here. You might think, if we were to look where we are, and outside the window from Gurudev's room, it's Rupa Goswami Samadhi. If we didn't go anywhere, we only remained here and discussed things, we would be fine and we would be happy. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not that where we are, we need to go somewhere from here. There's, we could make a case that we're extremely privileged to spend any amount of time where we are at present. So we would be more than happy to remain here. But out of respect, particularly Mahaprabhu ordered Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, no one knew where all these places were. Sometimes the old people, they would, they say, tradition, legend has it that this place is this or that, but not in an organized way. And Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, you go to Vrindavan and excavate, rediscover all these holy places, so in the future people can go to them and appreciate them. So in that spirit, respecting that, Mahaprabhu's wish to them and their wish for all the people, we're showing some appreciation, and also for our benefit. Jai Vishnu Pastor Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Vishnu Pastor Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Bhagavan Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. Jai Suparikar Shri Shri Guru Brahma Radha Rasa Bihari Gandharva Rasa Bihari Ji ki jai. Giriraj Govardhan ki jai. Rupa Goswami Guru ki jai. Rupa Goswami Guru ki jai. Narayana Goswami Guru ki jai. Radha Damodar ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai. Vanga Devi Dimuna Devi Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi ki jai. Sri Radha Krishna Babu Gopinath Shyama Sundar Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Govardhan ki jai. Navadip Dham ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai. I say Ganga Devi, Dimuna Devi, Bhakti Devi, Tulsi Devi ki jai. Seva Kund ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Acharya Vrinda ki jai. Jai Shri Bhakti Vrinda Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai. Jai Shri Parvananda Prabhu ki jai. Mohan Prabhu ki jai. Shananda Prabhu ki jai. Madan Gopal Prabhu ki jai. Dignitary Vaishnava devotees ki jai. Did I leave something really important?
Jai Shri Bhakti Sudhir Goswami. Really important. Ki jai.
Yes.
I think you covered most of them.
Right. Seva Vrinda ki jai. Samveda Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Go Vrinda.
Jai Shri Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj ki jai. His auspicious arrival to lead us on our parakram. Ki jai.
I'm following all of you.
Alright. You are leading us, and we are maybe showing the external direction of how to get somewhere. We are awaiting your arrival, and we are so happy that you're here.
Hare Krishna.